Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Weekly DLC. I'm one of your hosts, Kurosh, joined always by my co-host, Daniel Vargas.
Green.
And Daniel Jang.
This is not a t-shirt.
If you're not familiar with what we do, we come to you each and every week from podcasting services of your choice. We sit around a table like this sometimes, and we have some nerdy topics, comics, movies, games, kind of everything in between, or recent events regarding any of those things. And we have fun. We hope you have some fun with us. And yeah, this is episode 125, guys. 125. That's a milestone in my book.
That's like quarter of a year,
It's 125 weeks.
but the quarter of a year, right? 365.
Oh, day like if it was every day. Are we becoming the daily DLC?
See you guys tomorrow.
I see you running the numbers.
I'm like thinking about the next one would be half the year.
Half of this year.
Yes. 126.
Might be a big one.
Ooh.
How many episodes after 69 is this? We'll get into the chat, like catching up after.
Yeah.
Let's get right into the topics.
Let's do it.
So
My time. I'm just kidding. Changing it up on you.
yeah, you are. But no, you're not. I kind of had X-Men on my mind recently.
What? That's my topic.
Fuck.
Dark Phoenix?
So I didn't watch Dark Phoenix, but
Me neither.
I was recapping. I watched Comic Book Girls. She kind of recaps the saga of the Phoenix, both the dark and the good parts, and the whole. I mean, because there is the Dark Phoenix part, but there's a build up to that, which is like the Phoenix saga, the Dark Phoenix, all this. And I learned a lot that I'd never knew before, and I was thinking of X-Men lately because of that, and like. This was the last movie with Fox, and so now it's gonna, within who knows 5 or so years, we'll get X-Men in the MCU.
I was gonna say Fox has been messing.
Yeah, I mean,
Things
With
up.
the exception of Deadpool.
Been
Sure.
messing. But they handed the reins to people for that.
yeah, I mean, it was like a passion project.
Yeah.
First we got what was it? Wolverine.
Passion of the Wolverine.
Yeah, no, the first one, origin story.
Origins.
Yeah.
Which introduced us to Deadpool. Amazing character in that movie.
But then come back there. So anyway, I was thinking about
Wait,
it, and so
come
I was
on.
like, let's talk a little bit about where we'd like to see the X-Men in the MCU, how maybe you want to see them introduced, if you have any particular casting preferences, just anything involving their incorporation into what we know right now with the Marvel Universe, or what it'll be, who knows, in 5 years. Did you guys have any thoughts on this?
yeah, Phoenix Reborn. It's a good next movie.
Just jump right into Phoenix.
Yeah. I mean, there was Dark Phoenix, really bad, and then Reborn is just brand new light. People will enjoy, higher reviews probably.
What is that a story?
Oh no, I'm referring how bad this movie is, and they need to fix it.
And just going. I feel like though the problem that introduces is it's holding this canon,
Yeah,
and that you don't want that because all the baggage.
you want to just remove this.
Sever that tie.
This movie never existed.
And B, the way I've understood the Phoenix story, it's a build.
Yeah,
It's almost sort of like the whole, like any of these other films. There's been a build. It's like, oh, Thanos is coming. Oh, and. I feel like if they want to do Phoenix right, maybe not to the same level of Thanos where it's 22 movies, but I feel like there should be some just slow build in the background.
and just to make sure, for Phoenix, it was literally only 2 movies.
Not even. It was this movie.
Well,
They ignored. So I read what happened. The hints they dropped in the previous X-Men movie, the Apocalypse one.
but it has her in it though, right?
It's the same actress,
Yeah.
and they drop hints in that one of her having
Yeah.
powers. But this movie completely was no, it's something else.
She was
and,
never
and
in
that
Apocalypse.
wasn't it just forgets its own continuity. It's dumb. It's stupid. But I digress. We're trying to make it not stupid. But I would like to see a proper Phoenix story. I think that is a cool story. It's unique. I guess I'll get into it a little bit. I know X-Men kind of came with the whole message of, Professor X, Magneto, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and that being a symbol for, the struggle with racism.
Yeah.
And I think superhero movies have done a great job recently with Wonder Woman, Captain Marvel, Black Panther, doing more diverse, doing more inclusive, like just characters of different cultures, races, genders, everything. And I think X-Men is like that embodied. But I think they should, like, when they go forward, it should be more than just like a racial symbolism. It should just be all kinds of diversity. So I think, I mean, this could be a subtle thing. They don't have to make it a big push, but I think they should make an effort of being like, the LGBT community, like have characters that represent those, or people of different culture. Like Storm is a big example of this. Like she is this like awesome character of African descent, and like she kicks ass, and give her like some, just like broad level, like not story beats, but just like I want to see these sorts of characters like really shine and have some cool moments. So I think that would be an opportunity for them to really showcase that, is the X. Did you guys have any thoughts?
So we're just trying to like figure something else out, and not Dark Phoenix, like a new.
No, anything. I'm just
A
saying,
new
like,
movie.
you want him in. Like, is Wolverine you're in? Do you want all the X-Men in? Like, what? Just anything.
What if I make my in to be a story about Cyclops, in
You
which
have my interest.
he turns into a villain?
Oh, it's been done.
Oh, okay.
He's sided with Magneto.
Oh, you mean the comics?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I was
He-
I mean,
trying
you
to.
could
That
have.
guy flip flops so much, dude.
Cyclops?
He's flippy flappy.
No. How many times does he flip flop?
Well, I don't know, but I
And
know
the fact
one
that
time.
he did it once, that's a flip and a flop right there.
I think he's done it twice.
Checkmate.
I think he's done it twice. And
I mean, the
once
most
is-
recent one has been the set up from Schism, which was, I don't
Yeah.
know how many years ago. But that one is, I think, less villain and more, he's antagonistic. Like, he's sort of like in that gray area.
I mean, that's Magneto in a nutshell. He's in that gray area.
Yeah, because he wants
He's just-
what's best for mutants, but he's going it in a very.
But I that's different than
Absolute way.
villain to me. Like, when you're saying paint him as a villain, I think you're talking like he goes evil. Like, he has
Yes.
malicious
Well,
intent.
but
The
I don't
idea,
think...
my main idea was I wanted to choose a story that hasn't been done within the comics, and as soon as he was like, "Oh, it's been done," I'm like,
Oh, like a completely
yeah,
original
I just
story.
want a complete original story
I see,
for
I
a
see.
movie. I think
That's
that'd
hard.
be a neat concept for
Yeah, it would.
for one of the X-Men. Because to be honest with you, Dark Phoenix, like the way you're explaining Dark Phoenix, how it's a build-up, Dark Phoenix could have been the Avengers of the Marvel of
the X-Men
of
stuff?
X-Men stuff.
It could.
Like it could, like it seems like it could have been that way. Like
Absolutely.
Phoenix has that amount of fucking power that it could have been like that.
Well, just so many characters are involved. There's like the Galactic stuff. There's the Professor Xavier stuff. There's the Hellfire Club stuff that's involved. Like all these different communities are steps in that. That can be reorganized and adapted so that it's more streamlined and easier to, because it kind of like goes in different directions and happens over a long period of time. So there's a lot of like filler, but broad stroke level, she goes through like she gets this power out of being heroic, and then she doesn't know what to do with it, and then she uses it for good. But then she's naive, and there's a lot of manipulation that happens to her, and she's a victim of that. And then she retaliates against that like manipulation, and then she sees this darker side kind of like let out. It's just like this journey she kind of goes through. It's almost like, and I've heard this comparison done where it's like, oh, the only other kind of female character that has had a complex journey like that would be like Cersei. Like she went from being like victim to power, like a dominating figure and powerful figure
to
and,
victim.
and vengeance and
Shame.
sympathizing and all these different things. And it's like they kind of dropped the ball, and that was after 8 seasons of this
Yeah.
long-standing show. Like if that can't be done, it makes it hard to believe that this could happen in
Yeah.
the film. But I digress. I think a Cyclops story would be cool. He has a lot to, I think, offer.
He's
But-
always been like, if I think of like the X-Men, Cyclops has always been someone I've really enjoyed as a character. And the fact that I'm not too sure because I don't read most of the comics. Is he?
Did you watch the cartoons much? Or
I did,
What's your
yeah, yeah.
backstory with?
Yeah, cartoons, but it's been a long
Sure.
time. I've watched.
No,
so
I
many
just
other
want to
things.
know if you've ever outside of video games.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Sure.
It wasn't comic books. It was more, TV shows. So it was the cartoons that I would watch. But from my understanding is he uses the goggles to control the fact that he just shoots laser beams like fucking.
Yeah, if he
every
opens
time
his eyes, those beams come out.
Isn't there a point where he's able to control it to where he can like see normally?
Joss
And
Whedon. Emma Frost helps him.
Okay.
Like
I do remember that.
But is this like this isn't in that story. Someone like physically changes stuff to make him not be able to do it. He can't do it on his own, or is
you
it
remember?
something?
I don't think he can do it on his own. I don't think so.
You don't think that was the thing? I thought Emma helped him, like,
But maybe
retain
she-
it. I
she
remember there was a
changed.
moment where, like, it was not the first Astonishing X-Men story. It was one of the later ones, and she's in his mind, and like he's scared of himself and something. And I thought there was a page. I'll look it up if you guys
Yeah.
have something.
Anyways, it always interested me. Like, I wish there was like a story where it does show like, you know, he could have so much control that, you know, he can control, like, you know how they do like Limitless, where he can sense all these different things. Like, if he had that much control to where even like his laser eyes were under control for himself, and he could, you know, like he gets a sense for normality. He can hide with these people at this point, you know, because always he has to has these goggles or these glasses. So I think that'd be a neat thing where he kind of like teeters on like, should I hide for the rest of my life, or should I continue to like display that I am, you know, who I am essentially. I think that I always thought that was a cool concept that could have been done.
Yeah, absolutely. Jane, do you have anything to?
Age of Apocalypse.
Can you kind of, for
So-
those that aren't familiar with it, can you give us a quick run through?
Professor X's son, Legion, in the future. The future's fucked up because Magneto just controls everything. So he goes back in time when Magneto and Charles Xavier are university students. He goes in to kill Magneto. Professor X goes in front of him. Time fucks up because if you kill your dad, you disappear. And so Magneto sees this, and so he creates the X-Men. He becomes good. But since Professor X never founded the X-Men, Cyclops is a bad guy. He's with Mr. Sinister. He has one eye. He literally has one eye because him and Wolverine get into a fight. Wolverine claws him, blows his hand up. Wolverine has one hand.
It's like a metal
It's a
stub.
bit stub. He actually gets with Jean Grey. Wolverine and Jean Grey are actually in a romantic relationship because Professor X was never there. But the thing is, since Professor X was never there, Apocalypse rules the
Happens.
world.
Yeah.
And so I would have that. And there's
How would
only
you introduce that?
one person. Just fucking. I hate when they spoon feed us all the time. Like, I've seen Amazing Spider-Man's origin story so many times. Just people kind of have the gist of an idea of who Magneto and Xavier
So
is.
don't watch-
Just Xavier's
You
son
just
goes
jump
back
into
in time.
that start. Okay.
Goes back in time, tries to kill him, kills his dad, creates a fucking.
So it wouldn't be like we get introduced to them in like a teaser for another movie. It would just be like first movie, X-Men, whatever.
What if it's like, what if the movie starts out cold start, just this moment? Like, you just see like
Maybe it
both these two
backtracks?
characters. You just see both these two characters, and like you just see him, like one guy come out of it. You see like you know, Xavier
Things you're
sees
familiar.
it, and he just jumps in front, ends up dying, and like this whole moment starts, and like it just goes from there.
I think another cool thing. I think that's a good intro. I think another cool thing would be like we see like a war. Like it looks like the future in Terminator. Going with what your Age of Apocalypse story, we see it's like this future Terminators thing, but like carnage and stuff, and people are fighting, but you don't see anything clearly. And then you see something familiar, and it's like a Wolverine claw. And you see optic blasts and stuff, and then that moment happens. Let's say that's the opening scene, is the shot of them fighting, and all of a sudden the claw blowing and all that stuff, and then you're like, the fuck is like I'm familiar with these characters, but I don't know what like for the fan, they know what's going on.
Yeah.
For the new person, they're like I know these characters, but how the fuck did we end up
Because
here?
they're good, right? Yeah.
And then it goes to the rest of that present, and they at some point we have an intro character of whoever that might be, and then they backflash to how this all started. It could be like Sunfire or someone else is like the character we're following, because there's always got to be like that
Because
character.
Bishop's the only guy that remembers the original timeline, and he's like trying to fix it.
Yeah.
And is that because of his powers that he's able to remember?
Him. I mean, I remember in the cartoons. I don't know. This isn't a thing I'm an expert on either. For both of you guys, I know Bishop is. Him and Cable do a lot of time travel shit. Like anytime time travel is involved in X-Men,
They're the main
they're not far behind. To go back quickly to your point of whether you can control or not. So in Astonishing X-Men number 14, there's a telepathic therapy session where Emma Frost presents the idea to Scott that maybe his lack of control stems from not a brain damage of some kind, but a mental block he's created at an early age on himself. And it kind of gets lingered there, like, oh, what if he could? And then on issue 23, near the very end of the whole thing, He admits that theory could happen. He's in a catatonic state, and he opens his eyes, and you see this color of his eyes, and his powers. And then later, he's able to do a full controlled optic blast, and then the ability he has his goggles on later on. So it was a temporary thing, but that was like the only time I knew it would happen, but I didn't know how, and that was it. So that was it. I just want to touch on that.
Yeah.
I like the Age of Apocalypse. I think that'd be bold. I'm just trying to think of like,
They could do Grant Morrison's run.
And we have seen
Cassandra
Apocalypse,
Nova.
right?
huh?
We have seen Apocalypse,
Yeah.
or that's the guy.
Oscar Isaac. played
Yeah.
him. Ivan Ooze. I think that'd be a good one. I think. I think Age of Apocalypse could work. I'm just trying to think of a way. I don't remember how it ended. Do you remember how? Because I'm trying to think of a way to, like, once that story ends, how would they continue on?
Right.
Like, that's a future story, an alternate timeline. Maybe something happens where they're like, that's why they've never been in the rest of the MCU, and when they fix it, they're back in, and that could be how they interlace everything.
Like he said, he feels like we've been spoon fed as like moviegoers, like with certain storylines. But I mean, if you want to start fresh, just have a timeline where everything goes the way we want it to, and it ends with the timeline where it's fucked up. We have this character go back in time, so then we start like it's a refresh. So there's like it's a 4 to 5 movie thing of just the regular timeline, and then it gets redone with it with. So we're starting from the beginning, like
For X-Men.
For X-Men. Exactly,
But I'm
we do,
saying,
like, a
how does
full
this take?
run.
Like, I'm saying MCU unified world.
Oh.
How does that then either get in or?
Shit.
And what I'm saying is maybe the reason it's out of place with it,
Yeah.
it's taking place, but because it's this fucked up timeline,
Yeah.
when Bishop or whoever fixes it, then that's why they've been not kind of around or whatever. That could explain then why.
Yeah, you're right. I was way off topic.
I was like, what? Huh? I think the E for Extinction is the Grant Morrison story. It's like, at this point, mutants are around. They've been thriving. They have a whole country now.
Standard humans are being
Genosha?
Genosha.
Yeah. And it's like near South Africa, I think.
And there's a cure for the mutant gene.
Yeah. That exists.
meaning like you can remove your powers.
And Beast is contemplating on taking it, and they're like, no, you can't, because you're the face of mutants.
Well, I mean, they've touched on this in the
Damn,
Brett.
that
I don't know, but
sucks.
it kind of it addresses like, is it something to be cured at all? Like,
And it sucks more because Beast is turning more beast-like. He's turning even
Yeah.
more like...
No, then I would take it. I mean, I would have him take it.
I mean, it becomes a question of like, do you let like what is natural happen to you, or do you like take things to change? And that could be more of that like, diversity aspect of like what is how do you identify versus how do you?
That's the thing. Like, I don't know the actual concept, but if I assume when he says he's turning more beast-like, he's also losing his human-like instincts.
Does he?
I don't know. He feels like he is, though.
I think it might. It's a psychological thing.
Yeah.
He sees himself like becoming more
Saying
like he
he
has
thinks-
like more cat-like face
Yeah.
versus the cartoon where it's very human
Yeah.
face, and he starts like questioning a lot of things.
And Wolverine is the one that you can't do it. And they get into a fucking fist fight.
Yeah.
And like the students see, like it breaks through
Yeah,
the whole danger room. Kids are like, oh, cool, the teachers are fighting. Like, it's fucking, dude, Joss Whedon. Oh,
But
no,
yeah.
I mean,
No,
Grant Morrison.
Grant Morrison.
But yeah,
Fuck,
if he was turning like actual beast-like,
But I think that's a good question to bring up. Is like, how do you wrestle with that sort of concern or issue that you're facing as an individual, and how do you face that? I think that would make for a great movie, just focusing on just that. They tried to do that and the Phoenix story in the same fucking movie with the third one, and something else. I forget. I think that would be a great. The thing I was also saying with E for Extinction is this power comes in. Someone comes in. They fucking nuke all of Genosha, and like something happened, and then something later happens where like mutants are not repopulating. Like no more new ones are coming up, and then they're like, "Fuck, we went from being so everywhere to being on the verge of extinction," and they're like, "Fuck." And this puts them in a state where they're like, "How do we?" No, wait. The reason they're on the verge of extinction is House
Is
of
that
M.
clear? Oh,
I don't know if that was before. I don't remember.
Because at the end of House of M, she says, "No more mutants." That could be another tie-in because that was a big story of like Wanda.
They could do House of M. Shit.
Yeah, that would tie it in. To brief you, House of M was a story where Vision and Wanda were trying to have a baby, and she can alter reality. Like they dumb it down in the movies, but she can fucking alter reality.
She has Infinity Gauntlet
Yeah.
without Infinity Gauntlet.
And people are contemplating like she's contracting and not able, and when she does, she's not able to control her powers, so it fucks everything up, and they're getting stronger and stronger.
So they like don't have.
And
kids.
people are like, we need to put her out or something. They start questioning that, and Magneto's her father as well. And then they somehow catch wind, and she just like all of a sudden is like and just let like people are trying to get in touch with them and stuff, and she just ultimately alters reality to such a global level. Everyone's wish comes true, and it's this alternate reality, and no one remembers what it was before that except for Wolverine, which his like one wish was to remember his past. He's always not known his past, and so that was the and then.
That's funny.
But it had so many offshoots, like what is this person's wish? What is this person?
Right.
And they were like it was sort of like Captain America from what
the
Avengers
different
was. He's
fucking-
kind of old and
yeah.
he's like, I'm happy.
Yeah.
To other people having happy lives, to like
Fucked up lives.
yeah, and some people have different, and then Wolverine trying to like break everyone out of this, and then it leads to this big conflict where some people are now remembering. They're like he's jarring them somehow. They have a big conflict, and it ends up having this tussle where Wanda's just like, I just want to be left alone to have my, and then she yells something like, and like all this conflict is ending, and she has no more mutants, and then from that point forward, no more mutants can be born.
Even her kid.
I don't know whether she lost her kid or not. I think she
Oh,
did.
fuck.
But not as a result of that, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, so that sets a precedent going forward from that event. And then this event happened where whatever mutants were around dwindled, and they're in like a very militaristic state where like Scott is very like every mutant counts.
Yeah,
we need
we
to start
can't-
militarizing
Yeah.
our kids. And people are like, oh, that's questionable because like they're kids. You can't like be training them.
Right.
Like how early is too early to train them for the danger room? And that could then be an issue of like, these are kids with powers. Maybe that would bring back the Civil War conversation that they brought up with Captain America Civil War of like, how soon can kids with powers or kids with these mutant abilities be like taught to use them safely and all that stuff? I don't know. There's a
how
lot of
old-
like good stories.
How old is Captain America when like they feed him that concoction to make him Captain America?
18?
Yeah.
Was he? Oh, was it 18? He was enough to.
He was,
for
I
the
mean,
war.
he could enlist.
Okay,
That was the thing.
I thought for some reason it was 17. But
No.
that would make sense.
He was able to enlist. They were like, you're no good to us. Like,
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck? I mean,
so this could fail and it's fine.
but like, I'm thinking like long term, like that Extinction story set off this cool, like one of my favorite stories is a triple story. Do you remember Messiah Complex?
I never read it, but
So
I
the
know what
story
it is.
was all of a sudden one mutant was born, and it kind of made me think of Children of Men.
Oh.
And Cable comes back to time to protect this child.
Terminator?
And everyone's like, we need to use this kid is ours to use for this propaganda
Yeah.
or for this power. Like the X-Men were like, we need to protect it, and then these other villains are like, we need to use that kid for.
To tell people like we're coming back.
And then Cable is a one man, just like taking away like kind of John Connor Terminator stuff. It was a very good story, I thought.
Oh, wow.
And
That's
then
cool.
the second part of that story is it's Cable and that girl have now been growing up, and he's been training her, and in their like journey.
Wait, at a young age though, like this is questionable.
She's like, it's sort of like Logan, where it's like he's
Yeah.
Logan's age and she's just like a kid.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's a badass. And in this story, I think Bishop is after her. And what happened in this one was X-Force comes in, where they're like the Black Ops of X-Men. And in this one, I believe Apocalypse kind of comes into all this, and they have a big tussle with Apocalypse and all these. It gets weird. So I don't know if they'll do that. But what happens is then X-Force goes back, and Apocalypse, this is an offshoot story, but Apocalypse gets reborn as a kid.
Yeah.
And this is Rick Remender writing. And he's a great writer. And what happens there is they start questioning, like, we know that's Apocalypse. That kid is going to grow up and become Apocalypse. And they're like, we need to kill him now. It's that whole, like, if Adolf was a kid.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
Hitler was a kid. They wrestle with those kinds of conversation. They have this debate. Anyway, going back to the main story, the kid is now growing up, and she's having Phoenix-like powers. And they're like, oh, shit, does she have signs of becoming, like, the Phoenix Reborn?
Yeah.
This ties to you? I don't know. There's some great stories. They could really like do all
Yeah.
sorts of fun stuff that
But
they
it-
haven't done yet. Is what
I
I'm
think
saying.
the problem that it seems like X-Men has is they tend to like offshoot so much though.
Is that a problem?
No, it's just the way you explain it. It seems like there's just so much they could add or remove.
Right. They
to
could
this.
trim a
Yeah,
lot of fat,
exactly.
of course. I agree. It gets convoluted.
Exactly.
But like
so it just it gets not. It's not that it's like
with Disney Plus though,
It just
I'm
seems
thinking like
yeah, that'd be fantastic.
like, they could
Just
do
add all that
X-Force.
shit. It's a fucking web of fucking movies.
Spider.
I mean, I didn't have much in casting. I was just thinking like how they could do this, and then eventually build. What happens is that story of the girl ties into Avengers, where it's X-Men versus Avengers, because Avengers are like, this kid is too powerful for her own good. X-Men are not fit to handle this situation. This is now reaching a world situation. This is no longer an X-Men problem, and X-Men are like, fuck no, it is. This is our problem, and like.
Avengers versus X-Men.
That was a crazy story. And like people like make decisions. You're like, do I stand with this person? Do I stand with that one? Scott grows more and more like, do I agree with him or do I not agree with him?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. To me.
And they could build. I mean, maybe later, but they could. I could see them building Scott as like. I don't want to make it too similar, but I would have a Scott and Wolverine kind of like as a Tony and Steve relationship where they do have a Civil War moment.
yeah, and we get America's ass.
And we get two teams and we see them have their belief systems. And it's very real of like why he believes this way and why this person believes that way. Amongst all these other amazing characters, like Storm could definitely go to Wakanda and have her thing going on. No, she does though.
No, yeah. It's
But
just-
I mean,
it's
like
funny.
that's a whole world that they could intertwine. They could do all this offshoot with Deadpool and all these other. I don't know. There's a wealth of opportunity. I just kind of wanted to like give a taste of that.
Shit, fuck. I mean, I still do think it's like a speck of salt in this canister of salt that we've.
Fucking analogies, bro. Yeah, I mean, but my point to illustrate is we've seen these rehash stories so many times. The Phoenix story, some of the Logan story, some of
Yeah.
these others. There's so many other stories that are compelling and have like the Cure one, like that to be really fleshed out would be a great story, and diversity and all these inclusion, just so many other things of like the lessons that come with that. Good messages to be shared and had, and cool stories too.
And lots of money.
I mean, of course, yeah, it's fucking Disney.
Well, lots of money to be spent and lots of money to be made.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Imagine that cast, like not even just the current Marvel cast. X-Men cast is like a whole fucking thing on its
Yeah,
own.
dude.
Too. I don't
Hey.
really like. I can't think of people. I would like,
Sir Pat Stew.
huh?
Sir Pat Stew
Oh, Sir Patrick and
for Professor X. You can't replace him. Irreplaceable.
I mean, I give McAvoy and Fassbender credit for giving me a relationship
As a
to believe.
young age, though, like they.
But the
I
funny
feel
thing
like
is,
they
they're
were-
like friends in real life. Those two guys. I was like, that was pretty good. But yeah, nothing beats Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen. Fucking bros for life. I don't know. That was my topic. It was a mini rant and a little conversation.
I liked it.
Have a little DMX in there. X gonna give it to you.
X-Men gonna give it to you.
Talking about X. Avatar. Last Airbender. So
Like, huh?
have you ever Twitch recently launched in beta a sub-only mode. What are your thoughts on this new mode?
Can you first kind of
Wait,
explain
so
it?
real quick, because I'm confused as shit.
Just explain it real quick.
okay.
So basically, if you're affiliate or partner, you can have your channel be in subscription only mode. So only subscribers can watch it.
To
So
watch it.
to watch it.
So sub-only chat has happened before.
Yes.
That's what I thought we were fucking talking about.
I was
No.
like, that exists.
No.
I'm confused. That's why
But-
I was like, I think I'm missing something.
I'm gonna add something to it because I just recently found this out. You can actually preview it. I don't know how long the preview
I think it's
is.
5 minutes.
Oh shit, that's not that long.
No.
That's not that long. So you can preview it if you want to make a decision to sub.
Man, this changes my whole entire opinion on this shit.
On Twitch?
Yeah. Fuck Twitch. Twitch ain't my city.
But
Jang's got his back. Stop moving on his Twitch, bro.
But I'm gonna rewind it.
Okay.
Before sub only mode, I always felt like subs paying $5. What's the benefit except emotes and maybe they turn off the chat?
Right.
Most people don't turn off the chat, so I always felt like what was the benefit? But I mean, I'm playing devil's advocate. I don't agree with sub only mode.
So I can see moments for sub only mode, but as a long term thing, like, hey, you know, tonight we're only streaming sub only mode. I think that's a fucked up thing. I just like.
I don't see what is the incentive.
That's the thing.
Why would I do that?
That's why I don't feel like there's an incentive. But when it comes to like just quick moments, like let's just say like for 1 minute, I'm gonna stream sub only. I'm gonna tell a secret to everyone, and you know, but it's only for my subs. Sub only mode for 1 minute. Hey guys, I'm just fucking around. I want everyone to just get like what's happening? What's happening? And then you just turn it off. It's like it was crazy, man.
This is my thought. Clip it, share it.
Oh no, yeah, of course.
So, like, what the?
Yeah, no, yeah, of course. But that's why I would use it as a gimmick and not as an actual like. Just keep the whole recording.
I know, but if someone did actually want to be sub only, all someone has to do is like clip it, share it with whoever the fuck else.
You would clip the whole entire stream if it was the whole stream.
I mean, if something was important, like this person didn't want anyone.
Oh yeah, of course. I think those important parts will always be shown, whether it was not sub only.
So I don't understand why.
I think the incentive is live. I mean, if we're talking about that, like people that watch live is like that's one of the biggest gimmicks is you'll watch when something happens, you watch and chat. I was here. Hello, YouTube. I'm going to be on. Like it's just a thing. Like I was there live.
Yeah, that could be it. I think part of it is also like if let's say somehow someone high level, like let's say someone who has already a lot of subs, like let's say Ninja, all of a sudden turns on sub only. People that can't see it also go like, oh shit, something's going down. Like, why are his view like? And then that builds this sort of like. I think it helps the high people get higher and the low people get lower.
Yeah, exactly.
That I agree with that. That's why I don't agree with it. Like the people that are low, it's just not. It doesn't help. Force. I mean, sub only mode. I mean, like it
then
doesn't.
You lose all of them.
Yeah, it doesn't. It only helps the higher ups and. Twitch, they got to do something better to help the people lower up. They are helping people with lower up. They're actually making a logarithm. So people that are in the bottom are actually going to be, can get views. But yeah, sub only mode is a bad idea. It only helps the top 0.05%.
Yeah, because the thing is like what's insane is if you watch these, like if you watch Ninja, like the amount of people that watch him and he can still to this moment every 10 minutes be like, oh yeah, Twitch Prime. All of a sudden, boom, like a bunch of people are like Twitch Prime. It's like there's that many people that didn't realize they can fucking sub to him at this moment, dude. Like, so it's the same incentive. He could just be like, "Oh, guys, I'm gonna do sub mode for like an hour." You know, like just I want people that just sub to me. And so people at that moment that have the availability to do it are gonna sub to him. You know, like it's incentivizing people to continue playing for his channel.
But I'm just even seeing discourse amongst like some of those higher ones too, and I'm like they're not on board. They're like I don't like what this because a lot of them are fostering communities amongst streamers, not just amongst their viewers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they're like, I don't like how this
is
divided,
dividing.
divisive like that, and they don't foster that. So it's like,
and the thing is, like, there will always be advocates for one way or the other. It's like Xavier and Magneto, like. It's going to be good for the good or for the worse. But the thing is, there will always be those people that take advantage of it or try to, manipulate it to their own advantage. And that's what I'm hoping doesn't happen, but it's going to happen regardless.
what good if you were gun pressed to your head, you were trying to be like, what good could come out of this? I'm just saying, like, you had to think of something. What could you think of that would be positive?
I can show porn to my subs only.
Clip it.
I can only think of one thing. But I mean,
What?
they get money anyways. Games done quick. Like we're gonna donate. It's gonna be sub only, but all the subs are gonna be donated. But they make donations anyways. So
That's
The part I'm trying to understand the view part of it because I understand chat. They're like, we want to clean out the trash chat that's like maybe shit talking shit.
which is
or
why
something.
it's fine to have chat sub only.
Right. And I understand, but to view part, I'm like, who am I filtering out if I do that? Like if I wanted to be like, oh, there's something, I don't know.
I don't know. That's just
Maybe I would use it, if anything, as a time for a memo. Like I might not like if I had a following, and I was like, I have a special announcement about like how I'm doing content going forward. The regular chat that just comes and goes, I don't think cares. But like for the subs, maybe it's something affecting the subs. Like
they can clip it.
I'm just saying like. Maybe this way it's like, okay, just got your attention. I don't know. This is me trying to find.
For devil's advocate, I think it's to make a tighter community. Like it's exclusive now. Like
I get it. I mean, when you say it, I understand.
Exclusive, you mean as a viewer?
yes,
Yeah, making like a tighter knit community, but I don't feel like it's gonna work out that way for this method. Like it's just not gonna work
So
out.
here's a question for you guys, because you guys I think watch more streams than I do, comparatively.
I just have them in the background.
I do too, but I'm just saying like you're more privy to a lot of what's going on with some of the higher level streamers. I know like a niche amount or whatever, but would you say that, let's say like a CDN the Third or any of the other ones that you follow, that you watch and or follow their careers and stuff, are they individuals or do they like have fostered friendships among other, like for instance, I'll use Ninja as an example. Him, Dr. Lupo, Tim the Tatman. I feel like there's some sort of camaraderie.
Yep.
Are other streamers you guys know have something similar to that, either within their game or within?
If I think of other two,
like LA, you said the LA one, people in that's smaller stream, but like just in general.
if I think of two, I would say I don't think that Summit 1G has that type of community like with other streamers.
Okay.
But he has streamed with other people.
Okay.
But I don't think it's like because it always seems like awkward, like not awkward, but you can tell like he's not buddy with this guy.
Okay.
Like the banter between them isn't like casual. Like it's kind of weird.
Him and CD in the Third are fucking.
Oh, but then that's my other guy. CD in the Third, I feel like does have like a group because there's a guy that he always
Distortion?
streams, yeah,
and DK.
yeah, and
Well, even
and-
then, I've seen him when Smash was big. He's like, "Hey, Zero," or Zero.
Oh yeah.
He's like, "Let's play," and
Yeah.
they're like, "Yeah, fuck, let's do it."
Yeah.
And they fucking play.
See, but that's his personality too. Like he brings people into
Yeah.
the thing, but he has people that he's
Friends with.
recurrently streamed with.
Okay, so Summit 1G, who you said there was any more?
CD in the Third. Well, Summit 1G is the only one that off the top of my head I don't feel like he has a specific person that he streams constantly with.
Not to tease the next topic, but does Dr. Disrespect have rapport with other?
Shroud, probably.
Just them?
But I don't think I think that's like a one-sided thing. Like I don't think Shroud thinks of him as like, oh, let's hang out or whatever.
They were supposed to meet up at E3.
I mean,
saying.
okay. Well, but I'm just saying, like, in terms of that, my trend is I see more streamers leaning towards the side of like, even when they're focusing on their own thing, they're like, oh, I'm gonna raid this other person that I'm like in our community or
Right,
within this channel
Yeah,
or something.
yeah.
And they build a repertoire amongst them, like on all levels. Like, oh, this is a new up and comer. These are some of the more seasoned, and we kind of all kind of like help foster. We're the veterans. We're the new blood. All that.
Yeah.
And to build a community of individuals within your community, I feel like that removes it from that, and so I like that doesn't click for me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand that. Like it feels that's where it would clash.
What if they did because now you can watch multi-stream. What if you did sub-only mode, you can also watch who they're attached to, and it would incentivize people to sub to that guy.
I feel like to pitch that, to me it would seem like too far of a to convince me of this already is kind of like you're going
And you're
uphill.
adding now a weirder
and now
stuff.
there's another thing. I'm like, I don't understand that even more than I don't know. It'd be a hard sell, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have to have a different mind in here because we're all kind of very similar
On the same vibe?
within this. Yeah, so
But
like,
that's what,
I
like-
cannot think of a fucking positive thing. I've been trying to like since you said like
Has
gun
a
to your head.
streamer
I'm like,
been an
I
advocate for
fucking know.
this?
Tight-knit community.
Yeah, no.
Has any streamers been like? All I've seen are streamers.
Well, first
be
of all,
like,
I didn't even know about it. I thought when he was giving us this topic, I thought it was
Sub-only
sub-only
chat.
chat. Yeah, so I'm like,
have
it's
you
cool.
seen anyone
I mean,
being
I-
like?
Don't think so.
I don't even know what but the thing is, I feel like so Twitch is usually like, well, we've heard you guys. This is what we're doing. I don't know the fuck was saying this.
Yeah, I'd love
but-
to hear like the reasoning behind.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find
Yeah.
Twitch Reddit. Let's see what like.
Uh-oh.
The dark side of Reddit is what you're going on right now.
It's not that bad. You haven't seen Destiny subreddit, dude. That place can when it's bad, it's a
You
shit.
haven't seen Anthem Reddit.
I mean, we all know what we're getting to.
It's funny, but just to keep no silence on the podcast right now while you
It's a
guys are
windshield?
just searching. Yeah, let me just wipe my windshield. My glasses are fogging up like crazy. But yeah, dude, I can't think of anything positive. Like that's insane to me.
What's crazy is like streamers. I don't know if they're big, but I remember reading in Reddit, people were like, "Damn, I want to turn this on. Like, I want it, but I have a violation. I can't turn it on. I want to turn it on."
Yeah.
So I mean, there are people that want it.
But the thing is too, like I only see it as a negativity. Is like the moment that the most recent big thing that I can think of is Dr. Disrespect with the restroom thing. With the sub only mode, he could have been like sub only mode, go in the restroom, and so people that are like that can.
He still would have got in trouble.
Yeah.
Right,
Sure.
right.
Yeah.
But like,
You can't just blast porno like with the sub. You're still gonna get in trouble.
mean-
You're still gonna get in trouble. There's still gonna be Twitch is gonna find out and stuff and word of mouth.
right. But like, I don't know. Like again, it can create like moments where like, you know, I don't know. It's just incentivizing bigger streamers to become bigger. That's just all I see it as.
This is a comment on Reddit. I can't imagine a single scenario where I would ever want to segregate and paygate my audience on Twitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone was like, "This is getting the route of cam girl sites."
Oh shit! What if
No,
that's
but
where it's from? What if that's who it's for? No,
So I saw one thing where people are saying like,
perfect. What I want,
like an esport event or a boxing event, to,
Oh, that makes sense.
like
Man.
a
Logan
like,
Paul
like a
did?
venue of some sort.
Jake Paul.
Evo.
Like yeah, I don't know if Evo would, but that still baffles.
pay gate.
That still baffles my mind because the whole like the reason I've seen these esports become as big as they are is because of how many people can just view them.
And
it's like
now-
people are like, this is beating out World Series.
And
I'm like,
the only thing I can think of happening with like Evo or anything is everything is open to everyone to watch until the fucking end of all the matches. Like if you're watching the final match, pay gate. Like that's what I think of happening.
Would you pay $5 to watch Evo?
No.
see, if I'm doing that, I would expect better content than what I'm getting. Like I know what it is
And
now,
interactive
and I would want like, all right, let's break down the rivalries. Let's like have a better production. Let's have like more structure to this tournament. I don't want to see someone like reset the controller. I don't know what's going on. Can we get a guy over here? Like, I want like if they're wanting to put it to a higher level, I want a higher level of content.
So the question is, would you pay $5 as it is right now?
No.
How Evo is.
I would wait for the YouTube thing or clip or something later and just read about it or Twitter, like literally.
Yeah, but then it just sucks because I can't.
Or
like,
I would go to some random site that's like, all right, it's free pay-per-view events. No, I'm kidding.
It's probably gonna
is-
happen.
But there is gonna be a thing you would pay.
yeah, there'll be
The next Logan Paul.
There'll be
guy
someone
fight.
who has like a subscription to the channel and he'll be fucking live streaming that
With the
shit.
controller.
No, it's just me playing, you know. Me playing at fucking
Yeah,
Evo.
the closest thing I've seen anyone kind of like say is if it's an event of some kind. But even then, I'm like,
Yeah, even then I consider it a pay gate and I'm not okay with that.
Games done quick. If that became
No.
a $5 thing, would you pay? For?
no. I thought like to me the whole point of that is to raise awareness, not to
Close awareness. Close off awareness.
like that. To me is a place where I understand sub only chat. Because they get a lot of like shit
Yeah.
talkers and random stupid shit coming in out of nowhere to like just spread trash. But outside of that, I'm like, you would want people to watch this because it's like the link you had where it's a charity. It's like you don't want people to already like, is the sub going to charity or do I have to sub to see and then also
yeah,
donate?
and I can tell you the sub's not going to charity. At least the way it works right now, it's not going to go to charity. So, fucking terrible idea. Twitch is not my city anymore, dude.
It's
It means
mine.
a small thing.
I'm disappointed in Twitch.
You know,
I am.
It only helps the big
The big boys.
Big boys.
I feel like it I don't know. It helps segregate communities, and I feel like segregation causes
I saw someone
Issues.
the dumbest. So again, because of Twitter, it's showing me debates other people are having because I follow one of those people. I follow this one streamer of Destiny, and he's like, "This is dumb. It's segregating people." And someone's like, "Dude, fucking segregation. Chill out, dude." And he's like, copies the definition of segregation and posts it. And then the guy's like, "This is not segregation. This is fucking Twitch." And he's like, "I don't know what to shrug. I don't know what to tell you." And it was like, yeah, what he said made me think of that. It's like, this is dumb. Anyway, if anyone knows a reason that would be incentive, please let us know. I would love to hear. Like, I'm not even sarcastic. I would genuinely want to know like what kind of
Send it to us at asktheweekendDLC@gmail.com.
plug in right there. What's
But
your
to,
topic?
to segue into Twitch, I wanted to talk about the recent event with Dr. Disrespect.
PhD.
And, pretty huge.
Raul.
Can you give us a little background?
So what happened is at E3, Dr. Disrespect was physically there, live streaming, and
First time.
and he never turned off the camera. So he had a cameraman following him at all times.
But why did he go to the bathroom?
I don't know. I actually
El
never
chorro.
watched. Oh man,
Quality content. Even if it's fake, that's quality content, dude.
I have a chorro. I need to go. I actually never seen the video. It got turned down. They got removed, so you can't.
He got to say, the chimichangas. Like, I forgot what he was.
But yeah, so the camera guy follows him into the restroom, and they do this three different times that he goes, and just is still live streaming anything in the restroom. Nothing crazy happens or shows, but you can see obviously kids that are underaged and. Anything can happen. Like a kid can just turn around, like, "What's happening?" and it just flashes the camera or something like that. But nothing ends up happening. But either way, Twitch bans him for 14 days. And as of this recording, his channel has been released from the ban. But I just wanted to talk to you your thoughts on that. Like, what do you guys think? Is this something that is that was fine, like that type of punishment, or do you think it should just immediately be a perm ban, like no excuses, zero tolerance? What do you guys think?
I don't know how I feel about zero tolerance, but I definitely feel like that was like a slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
And a fine or something. I don't know. I don't feel like that should be. There should be something to be like, this is not okay. And I don't think that message came across. I think people were like, "Oh, he's going to get detention," and who gives a fuck? Like, not just him, but in general. Like, I feel like that's the general census whenever anyone gets in trouble on Twitch. It's like, whatever.
What's funny is
we'll see you in a week.
comparison
Nice vacation,
wise, if you're comparing like this guy who has a big channel and you're like 14 days, that's a slap on the wrist. But I really do think if you compare it to like a smaller channel, they'll be like, that's 2 weeks of me not making money. Like, that's a lot of time,
Sure. But how? I would love to see the numbers of how often that happens to a smaller streamer.
Yeah.
Versus, I feel like the bigger streamers do it as a stunt to get them more views.
Yeah. And that's
More than
exactly.
anything.
I feel like that's exactly what this was.
Like, up until that IRL stream, what was the last thing he had been doing that was like big? And like last time I remember was a year ago when not even a year ago, the shooting thing that happened to him, where people were like harassing him and like popping airsoft gunshots and stuff, and there was a threat. That was another bad thing.
Yeah.
And that wasn't in his control. I'm not saying that was. But that was the last time I saw his name in the headline. Apex launching, he was one of the sponsored people. Okay, that's fine. But like,
When he came back, for me, is when he came back from the cheating incident.
And
That
it
was
was-
the
yeah,
last
the-
big. That was the last big thing.
yeah, but to even precurse that, the cheating thing happened. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna go away for a bit.
but
I don't know. I just feel like bad things are. It's a continuous thing of like negative things are drawing in more people.
Yeah. And I do think that this might not be like.
Not just for him. I mean, just like how things happen. It seems like that has a higher turnout than positive things happen.
And I don't think this is planned in the sense of like, I'm going to get a ban. It'll
Sure.
be cool. But I think it's planned in like, they try to do things that like border on like, is this okay? Is this not okay? Because it is bringing in those views. And obviously like it's happening all the time, but it never gets big until it falls off that line to the other side, where they get a ban. And then that's where it becomes news. People talk about it. But I feel like, these guys are always teetering on that on that line.
Greek god.
Yeah, exactly. And so it
Greek
doesn't.
God? I don't know.
He's like a drama, like
He's an IRL streamer.
yeah, IRL, but like does drama purposely, like causes drama purposely.
Yes.
But again, he teaches on that line, which you don't hear anything about it until like he does something that goes overboard, you know. So same thing with Dr. Disrespect is I think he's understood this point that it's that drama or like that teetering part that brings in the views. And then there's moments where he just happens to go overboard. They give him a 14-day ban. He's like, well, vacation time. Because the thing is, it is a job. Like you're streaming every day to do this. So in a sense, I mean, obviously it's bad because he's not streaming. But I still think he's like, dude, this is time for me to take a break. And like, probably he feels like it's like, fuck yes, well-deserved break. You know,
He probably knew the time
Yeah,
period too. They're like,
exactly.
hey, like.
So
That's why I'm like the
yeah, it's
ways
just a slap in the wrist. Even worse, like it's more of like, here's the vacation time, you know, take a break. And it's like not even like there's no
So,
punishment towards him.
Do you want them to have like a YouTube type of policy where 3 strikes and your channel is gone?
Again, I don't know about that, but I do think there should be something to be like to make you actually be like, I should not be doing whatever it was that I did.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to put the positive side on this whole incident versus YouTube.
Okay.
When Logan Paul did his thing, it punished.
The death thing.
Yeah, the hanging.
Yeah.
It punished it fucking punished me. I don't make fucking money anymore, dude. Like
that was because of ads, right?
Right.
Yeah, they changed it to where like you have
Like-
to have a certain amount of people.
At least
viewing
this
your
year, I mean, they
subscribers.
did punish. I mean, it might not be harsh, but they did punish Dr. Disrespect, and they didn't punish like,
Anyone else?
Yes,
Correct.
Like,
That's a good.
fucking you.
I don't think it should be something that like all of a sudden penalizes everyone. I think it should be. This is like our punishment to him should reflect that if anyone else does a similar thing, we go through a process of it. There should be a clear-cut outline of what is and isn't okay. So that is also something that Twitch is responsible for. Of like, this is okay, this is not okay, and that is definitely something that's going to take resources.
But-
because there's just so many things that people.
I'm gonna
can-
put it, man. I'm gonna put it on the flip side, dude. Like, boob streamers, like they teeter on TOS. Titty streamers.
Oh.
Fuck they, dude. They do. It's the same exact thing. They're breaking TOS. They're fucking teetering it, dude.
No, they're teetering it in another way. But I'm saying like if
But
a
I mean,
child
if you're
shows
making
up
if
and
you're
is
making
indecent-
rules, you gotta be
yeah,
pretty
100%,
consistent.
100%. That is another aspect of the TOS. What I'm saying is if a kid can show up potentially, that not only puts Dr. Disrespect in a compromising position, but that is something that could put the whole platform. They're like, Twitch is okay showing naked, like exposed people of underage. I think that is a bad precedent to set. So there should be something that covers both ends of that. I agree with you.
Girls that do body paint. Come on, dude.
Hey, they're wearing pieces. You're good. The thing is, too, is like it's tough to come up with like a punishment for people because
Maybe that should be a fucking thing for sub-only views. Is like you're of age subber. Like if you want to watch, that would be a cam girl thing. I know, but
And again, only they make money.
okay, this is going back. What I'm trying to say is like when you get into body art, you get in this weird conversation. I don't know how YouTube handles it, but of like how does artwork get censored or
But
not censored?
The thing is, you have to have the following to do this, and obviously, you already have to be affiliated or partner to get it. But like someone doing body paint that's huge, perfectly fine. Someone who's really small, channel wise, viewer wise. They can't afford, even if they're affiliated, they can't afford to do it because they need to bring in more people. And if they're sub only, so again, like it depends on how big the audience is. But again, it still feels like that's catered specifically to a larger channel as opposed to a smaller channel. And then when it comes to punishment wise, like it feels like with Dr. Disrespect, a 2-week punishment was not nearly enough.
Do we know if there was a fine of any kind?
I don't know, not that I know. I believe was
I
only
feel
a
like
2
that's
week.
something because then it's like you're paying. Like financially, you're paying.
But yeah, it feels like it was only a 2-week. I believe it was only a 2-week suspension. But the thing is, like for a smaller channel, that's huge. Like for a guy who
I understand that.
is just barely making enough money, and like he just started making full-time job. Yeah, that 2 weeks is going to be devastating for this guy. You know, so it's hard to teeter on what a good flat punishment for anyone is.
I think before the flat punishment, definitely needs to be a clear-cut set of terms of like what is not okay, so that if someone does cross that line, it is a conscious decision. It is it's a consequence of like, hey, you agreed to this, you broke that. Like any work policy, it should be a clear outline of what is and isn't okay here, and if you break that, you're gonna be reprimanded to some degree.
Yeah.
The reprimand is there, but it's only after you've clearly defined what.
I think
Well, I mean, the
if
TOS,
those
I think,
guidelines
really
are
defined it.
Well, I'm just saying, like, they didn't, like, the booby streamers are getting away with it. Like, that's not clearly defining it. I'm just saying, like, you need to cover all ends of it. And that's not an easy task. That's a daunting
Yeah.
thing of, like, how do we define it? Anyway.
even if it's strict, people are still gonna teeter it.
Yeah.
They're always gonna
Yeah,
push
because-
it. They're always gonna push it.
I mean, not to say that like TOS aren't strict already, but I think it's the reason that like there's certain like parts that are not very like clear cut how it works is because of these moments. Like they know
How is
that
this
like
not clear cut, though?
well, because the thing is, I think Twitch understands that if they were like just what like tomorrow they wake up and flip the switch where it's like 100% you got to follow the TOS, every cam girl is gone. Like there's gonna be mass hysteria. Oh, well, not like that much, but there will be a ton of people complaining. You know, the fans that watch them and specifically those streamers, they're just gonna be like, "What the hell?" Like, there's no notice, nothing. It's like it's clear in the TOS. Like you should have just known already. You know,
It should
like,
be.
Then YouTube gaming is
it's
like,
tough.
hey,
It's
we
tough.
let it
Like
happen.
when it's that big of a like, if it's gonna cut off that wide of a range of people,
Okay.
you can't just flip a switch. Like
Don't
it
flip
has
the
to.
switch. Make a huge announcement.
Yeah.
Make it on the front page
Yeah,
of
and
Twitch.
be like,
saying,
you guys
hey,
have-
update coming to TOS.
Yeah.
You have 2 months to
Yeah.
read this.
That's exactly what you'd have to do. Yeah.
You have 2 months. Every time a streamer's about to stream, hey, by the way, 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, by the way, 1 month, 29 days. Hey, like in
3
the
days.
fucking face.
and people
Yeah.
will still.
Yeah. Teeter that.
And
shit.
then
I was gonna say a streamer's name, but I won't say her name.
Yeah, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of streamers that if this moment comes, they will still be doing everything like they've been doing, and then when they get cut off, they'll be like, "I didn't do anything different." That's the problem.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
that's you can't say ignorance though.
Well, that's what I mean. I'm pretty sure a lot of people will play that though. But
Does
yeah,
that work in real life?
Well, I mean-
in like
Right,
like
right.
The speed limit.
it
change.
works in customer service. I mean, shit.
Yeah, I mean, it.
Oh, I bought this
I'm trying to
picture frame that doesn't fit my picture. It says the dimensions. I thought it would have been the right size.
YouTube has had its own issues.
Mm-hmm,
Despite the monster flow, Twitch-
I don't know. It's just, it's tough, especially like
It is a wild west right now.
they've
though.
gotten so big. Like obviously, like when you're a small company, like when it was Justin TV turning into Twitch TV, they had to make clear cut stuff. But you don't do that because you want to grow. If you make clear cut like rules, people will not like. You're too bossy. I'm leaving your I'm leaving your place. I'm going to go to YouTube. You know, and so they had to keep everything open to continue thriving. And now it's biting people in the ass, or it's biting them specifically in the ass for not being able to do, make strict, rules, because then it's going to cause a whole community to leave or be booted out, and it's going to cause a lot of complaints.
So, this is off tangent.
Yeah.
PewDiePie actually does not live stream on. He used to live stream on YouTube. He live streams on DLive. Brings in fucking a lot of traffic.
DLive
dude.
must be paying him
Fuck,
money.
So I mean, like, I think Twitch is just afraid of like losing people.
Yeah.
Viewers.
Again, like they can't make clear cut TOSs because I don't know.
They need. I'm saying, it's going to be hard on everyone at first, but once you clear that, you weed that all out, and you to go through whatever trials, then you now go forward with a clear picture, and it's not like chaos.
I understand that, but
I get that it's going to be hard, and I get that
Well,
people
no.
are going to have a hard time. I'm just saying that part will be necessary if we want any sort of structure.
The structure thing, but I think it all falls on Twitch again being afraid that it can go either if this works exactly how they want it to. Now they have clear cut lines, or everyone leaves, and like that's a scary thought. Like people will move on to a new platform to stream on, because there are other platforms to stream on that are not very well known, but other things exist, like the PewDiePie D-Land, or what did you say? it was called?
T-Live.
T-Live.
And usually
This is the first time I've heard.
people who get banned on Twitch, they go to YouTube Gaming. Ice Poseidon.
Yeah. So I
They-
mean,
are they doing just as well?
Oh, he's killing it, dude. Because he's like the only big dude on YouTube Gaming.
So
20K viewers, dude.
His views are high, but isn't the economy of YouTube still sort of like up in the air?
right, but I think even with Twitch,
But I
most
feel
of the
like
money
you're-
made is donations.
But
so.
YouTube's system is pretty much copied like Twitch. It's like donations.
Right, but he's saying like advertisement and
I
money,
think-
like just from streams.
Just from what I've heard in the past of what's gone on with YouTube, what's going on now with Twitch, it just seems like a roller coaster ride. Like streamers, regardless of what they're doing, need to ride the waves, figure out when it's
Yeah.
good to be here, when it's good to be there, when they're doing something wrong, when they're doing something right. It just seems like there's no clear cut. This is the best place. This is the wrong place. It changes day to day. It's like, all right, I'm getting banned here. That could play big for me over here. That it's like
Twitch is scared because like if you look at like Instagram or you look at Snapchat used to be king and then now no longer king.
Instagram took over.
Instagram took over, stole Snapchat shit and took over. So I think that's what Twitch is afraid of because it's so finicky of what the next big thing is. Twitch is king now in live streaming. Who knows? A year later, it might not be. Something else might come up and just.
Like just to bring up like Snapchat and Instagram, Instagram obviously did everything right to steal people from Snapchat. Snapchat was exclusive to temporary photos, temporary videos. Instagram was the photos only, and it's a platform that everyone already used, and then they added those temporary videos, and that's what like it was a perfect combination of I'm already here to see the pictures. I can go like don't ever go back to. I have not opened my Snapchat in fucking like years.
I have 3 friends that use Snapchat.
So
Never looked at their stories.
If we think of the same concept, Twitch is only for streaming.
Right.
YouTube is for videos and streaming. Like YouTube had, I don't know if it still has, the best opportunity to steal from Twitch, but like it's been trying to. It's got the YouTube Gaming. It's got the YouTube Live. They're changing the name from YouTube Gaming to just YouTube Live or something like that. So they're trying to expand. They're trying not to be like, at first it was like, oh shit, we got to get this niche market of gamers.
But didn't they stop the gaming app or whatever?
That's what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
They're
It's YouTube
they're,
Live now.
They're getting away from a niche, just gaming live thing to an overall live thing. So they still think that they have that upper hand for it because it's got a perfect combination of people will be on our website already for standard videos. Why not watch a live video as well? So YouTube has a really good ability to steal from Twitter or Twitch. God, too many T's.
Twitch has a really good chance to steal from Twitch.
YouTube's.
I mean, Facebook Gaming too. They stole Mrs. May from YouTube. YouTube. She was a YouTube live streamer, a lot of viewers. Facebook Gaming paid her a lot, brought her in.
I'm just trying to wrap my head around all this. I think of also WWE in a big picture. They're a global, like they're the top dog when it comes to wrestling. They have personalities that are big. There's the Rocks, there's the Cenas, there's the CM Punks, you go different time frame, different people. And sometimes some of those people leave and they go to different companies. Kurt Angle went to TNA on another show, and that show, I mean, he was a big star. He was huge. There was a lot of people that went from WWE there, like Booker T, a couple other ones. Even though that other one built up, WWE was still just so big that it just kept chugging, and other people filled that void. I'm not saying it's comparable, like 100%, but Twitch, someone leaving for another platform opens the door for another person to rise up and fill a void that Dr. Disrespect left, or that whoever else, like you guys have mentioned, might have left. That's another way to look at it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I agree with you, but the possibility is always there, And
I'm
like
gonna flip it with game consoles. Nintendo ruled, then fell off. Then
They
Sony
near
ruled,
extinction.
fell off. Microsoft came with Xbox, ruled, fell off.
Yeah, it's
now it's
always just
Sony
that.
again. So it's just like you just gotta be afraid. Like you can't be.
I'm gonna throw no one. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But Vine is a huge video thing, and they killed themselves by just not catering to their actual content creators. You know, so
Well, this is all also on. We're looking at just creator side. There's also the platform side of things, like how accessible is Twitch versus a YouTube? How accessible is another streaming service, like for a user?
Yeah.
And then okay, Twitch is working with Amazon. Okay, how does that work versus what does YouTube do? Do they They're Google. I mean, that's in and of itself a thing. And like I think there's all facets of that going on. But going back to like just the Dr. Disrespect stuff. I was reading this article about like it doesn't seem like anything else happened to him. It was just the ban, and several streamers had commented, according to this article,
including Shroud.
Shroud was one of them. So Tfue tweets out joke in support of Beam, which is part of his real name.
Guy Beam.
Ninja calls it a flagrant violation of the rules. Top streamer Shroud suggests that Beam should know better. He said, "Is it a mistake if you do it 4 times? No. The first time I can somewhat let it slide. 3 times after that, there's just nothing you can say." And then Ethan Klein chimes in saying, like, Twitch, by saying this is the only punishment he receives, makes a decision that he's too important to leave. But like, if he were like, let's say if they were to permanently ban him, he would go to YouTube probably. And while it's not as big a platform, based on the metric they pulled, he has 1 million subscribers on YouTube. Dr. Disrespect versus 33 million on Twitch. And while there probably will be some sort of migration of fan base with that, I don't know if it would completely just instantly bring it up.
I would say at least 1/3, so 10 million would go over.
Twitch is very.
I don't know if that. I mean, that's a guess. I don't know.
Twitch bends the rules for Dr. Disrespect.
And-
so
yeah.
one of the things
Or
is
any big streamer.
the glitch symbol. You
Yeah.
can't edit that shit in no matter way. When you put it on like business cards, it has to be fucking right. They even give you like files to put.
Yeah.
But
Really?
he puts the glitch with his face on it.
The
so
mustache.
Twitch doesn't care. Like
Because Twitch is his city, dude.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
the face
It's not my city.
of Twitch.
I mean, all I gotta say is the Halloween costumes this year are gonna be lit.
But
I bet you he'll do some sort of stunt later in the year. That's because he did a video on YouTube mocking what happened to him.
yeah.
I could see him doing another one again.
But the thing is, like, I think Guy Beam understands he's one individual, and I think he's made a decision where whatever happens to him, he'll go with the flow. Like, if he gets completely banned, he will move on. If he doesn't,
They're like rock
he makes a
stars.
joke. Yeah,
It's like, oh yeah, fuck yeah. Like something bad happening to one of these guys is like a mark on their reputation. It's
Yeah.
like, I survived like this, and this. And what scares me more than anything is not so much what Twitch will do, what YouTube will do, what they won't do. It's like normalizing behavior of certain kinds. Like seeing the Logan Paul video, we kind of are like, when we talk about it now, it's not in any sort of like shock. When we talk about some of the other stuff that like YouTubers have done on YouTube and Twitch, just anyone has done on these things, at first there's like a shock, and then it just kind of like, yeah, and then like we talk about it normally, and it's just like more and more things happening. It's like this guy streamed in the bathroom. There was a kid, and like that to me scares me because I don't like that. Like I'm like, to me, I don't want to support that.
What's funny is
In certain ways, and that's where different people are drawing their lines, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what is that psychology going to change as it keeps keeps?
And
Coming?
I do think that if the punishment isn't severe enough, that this kind of behavior will continue to happen. But the thing is, I do think that it's already being normalized
No, that's right.
on the platform itself.
Right.
No,
No,
I wouldn't say by Twitch, but yeah.
Sure, I agree with you. I'm saying just like, where is this trend going to take us? I'm scared of that. That's what I'm saying.
Google Glasses with live.
have you seen the IRL? Fucking
That
It's
and
nuts.
obviously the cam, just the live chat cam or whatever, which is just the where usually all the titty streamers are at. Can a guy be a titty streamer?
yes.
Perfect. All right, changing my lifestyle.
Hey boys.
But that's all I got on that. I mean, that's just like it's a huge topic. I mean, I feel like
Oh
we
yeah,
could
it's like 8
continue.
topics we just talked about.
Just continue talking about that.
Couldn't talk about Avatar, huh?
I just thought this
That
was
was a
more
good one. It
relevant.
was a good one.
I didn't want to like save this one for later or anything.
Totally,
like that.
totally. That was a good pivot. We can always talk about Avatar.
Reddit.
What have you guys been up to this week?
I came back from New York
New York.
and I brought stuff.
Ooh.
Where's my bag? Where's my bag?
Did you bring back some pizza?
I brought
Ooh.
So this is yours.
Nice. Onigiri.
And
Thank you.
this is yours. And
Animal
this
Crossing?
is yours.
Hey!
Is it?
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah, dude. One of the best characters in the fucking...
Not everyone.
Bro,
is
you
the
just
same.
splatted all over my heart.
Not everyone's the same, man.
I don't know his DJ name. I know he's KK Slider, but
KK
his-
Slider.
Thanks, dude.
He has a
DJ.
DJ.
Thank you.
So yeah, I tried obviously getting something pertaining to you guys, and I made sure that it had New York anywhere on the fucking
New
shirt.
York.
New York.
This is dope, man.
So that is from the New York Nintendo store. Bags cost 75 cents. You're fucking welcome.
Really?
So whenever you make a purchase, they give you a bag, and so they're putting both shirts in one bag. I'm they're presents. Can I get one more bag? And she's like, just to let you know, they're 75 cents. I'm like, oh yeah, just go ahead and charge me. No, but I'll give this one for you for free. I'm like, then why the fuck are you telling?
I'm guilt tripping
I'm
you.
never coming back here again.
Just so you know, this is my last visit.
Just so you know, I'm never coming back to the store now.
Did you get one? Or sure?
I did not actually. I
What
didn't buy
the-
myself a shirt.
Nani?
Did you feel like stuff in New York is expensive?
Hell
When I went
yeah,
to New York,
dude.
I was like, a bottle of water is like, how much?
It's like the whole city's
Dude,
Disneyland.
coffee is beans and water, and you're paying $3+ for standard coffee over there. at
What's
any
that
given
New
moment.
York?
Pizza is the cheapest thing you can find there. You can find 99-cent slices
Nice.
of pizza, but everything else is fucking expensive as shit.
Did you visit 368?
No, I did not. I didn't do anything Casey related.
Did you see him anywhere? Did
No.
he
He's
skate by you?
He drove to LA by the time I
Was
was.
he
in,
by Empire State Building just like, hey guys?
No, he was in LA by the time I got to New York.
I mean, that was when he posted the video. You don't know if he was back.
He's back.
Okay.
But so I did that.
Cool.
Trip wise, yeah, it was good. It was overcast pretty much every day.
Okay.
After the first day, it rained every single day after that.
Dang.
Usually later in the day, so we were able to like get early morning and just kind of do stuff. And then it would start raining around 4, so we would just eat like dinner around that time inside of a building and then go home. Checked out. I don't know what the island is called, but the island at the
Ellis?
Statue of Liberty. So I don't know if
Staten?
it is. I think I don't know, because Ellis Island. So
That's
when we
different,
took
yeah.
a ferry, the ferry was like you'll go to Statue of Liberty and then Ellis Island. So but never did I ever hear the name of the spot. The
Island
statue.
for-
They just call it the Statue
I
of
think
Liberty.
it's just, yeah.
So yeah, we went there. Beat the weather immediately. So like we were there, it's super foggy the whole or super cloudy the whole time, and then we stayed there for a lot longer than you would normally do because it's just a small area and only has a Statue of Liberty. But we stayed there a lot longer. So then we're like, we're tired, so we're gonna just take the ferry. It goes to Ellis Island, then back to New York. We stayed on the boat while it was on Ellis Island, then came back to New York. As soon as we stepped off of the boat, it just started like pouring like
Oh,
crazy.
Damn.
And so we like busted out our
Umbrellas?
umbrellas and like so they have a lot of like I guess what you can call the construction at all times. So they have like awnings or whatever
Yeah,
over
yeah.
the streets at all times. So like you just see everyone crowd those areas as soon as
Okay.
it starts raining. So yeah, we just go in there. But I was still drenched in rain after even after that.
Did you guys prep for that, or was it kind of like the whole rain sprung up on you?
No, so we did prep for it. So like the 2 days before we left, it started showing like, hey, this whole week is going to be rainy pretty much. And we're just like, well, nothing we can do about it, you know? So,
You wore those shoes?
yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, my feet were constantly soaked. Only shoes I brought too. Because it's pretty much that's exactly what it was. It's pretty much the only pair of shoes I only ever own one pair of shoes at a time. I don't own multiple pairs. I was honestly debating on whether buying like actual boots that can help with
Something
the rain.
rainproof,
Yeah,
yeah.
something. Ended up not doing it because this is the only time I'm ever gonna wear them, and everything's more pricier there. We checked out Fifth Avenue.
See any Broadway?
Yes, Lion King, which was probably the best thing we did there. Like, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I remember you were talking to us
seats,
about
dude.
it. Like
Yeah, dude, this is fucking $240 a
Fucking-
fucking person, dude.
Mufasa, bro.
Touch them.
So what's funny is I am a sweater, like face wise. Like my body generally doesn't sweat. My face, you can just tell it's drenched right now too. The guy who played Simba, the older version of
Jonathan
Simba.
Taylor Thomas.
He came in strong as hell, like just boom. And then like after 2 minutes, just like you can see like sweat dripping down his chest, his face. I'm like, fuck, this guy, he's like me. And then the whole, so then I just started paying attention to like every time I did like a scene change, I'm like, is he gonna be wiped down? Still sweat. I'm like, damn, this guy's a fucking
Committed.
champ, dude. This guy's a champ. That or they don't fucking have time to do anything backstage. They're just like immediately like, all right, next move. But I was like, fuck, dude. Like, dude, it's drenched. And he was like, he's been doing the show for a while. So, I mean, it's just, he's used to that shit probably.
Cool.
He's fine.
So performance was good.
But yeah, dude, I was like surprised, man. Like they did such a good job. They were so enthusiastic to the point where I was like, this is the first time they've ever done this shit. Like they have so much energy and enthusiasm to do this show. I was like, after my second try, I'd be like, fuck this, fuck that audience, dude. Like, but these guys
Hakuna
were
Matata.
like,
Yeah.
What a wonderful.
dude, these guys put everything into it, dude. It was like,
Doug.
so because of that, yeah. Because I know the guy, who plays Timon, man, he fucking killed it too. Him and then the guy who plays Scar.
Oh, okay.
They both did a really did a good job. But yeah, man, like it's a really good show. I highly recommend watching Broadway. And obviously, you can watch Broadway here too.
I'm hoping.
Don't have to go to New York.
I don't
for
know
that.
if it's this year. Maybe fingers crossed. We're gonna try to go to New York later in the year. And I was like, I want to see a musical.
Yeah, the
Or
main one.
Broadway
The
thing.
main one I wanted to watch because since it like became huge was Wicked.
Oh.
But I'm perfectly happy with Lion King, dude.
I think
I'm
if
so
I were to
happy.
pick one, it'd be Cursed Child, Harry Potter, Harry Potter.
Hamilton.
Yeah, Hamilton, but that's still huge, dude. It's good luck finding fucking tickets for that shit.
I mean, they have an LA one, but
L.A. I thought I knew they had an SF one.
They
I
have
didn't
an
know-
LA one.
Okay.
because I auditioned for it. Didn't-
Okay.
But,
so mostly Trip.
Yeah, mostly Trip. And then
You watch anything? Play anything?
over there, no. But I came back Saturday, and then Sunday night I
Switch.
watched. I didn't do. I mean, I played on the plane.
What'd you play?
So
Necrodance.
Yeah. See, exactly. There is something.
no, so
Hold
well,
down
no.
on us.
It's a situation that happened. So I played pretty much Final Fantasy 9. Not 9. Is it 9? No, yeah, 8 is the other one. So 9. I played Final Fantasy 9 most of the time there. And then on the way back, I was like, you know, I ended up dying in a moment, and it like kicks you back out all the way to the last save point. I was like, all right, I'm done playing this game. Was like, all right, I'm gonna bust in my Breath of the Wild cartridge. Let's go and play. It needs update. What? And no. And then the plane to New York had free Wi-Fi. The plane back, their whole entertainment system completely shut down, including Wi-Fi. Couldn't fucking play Breath of the Wild.
You can't play
Can't just
without
be
a
like
thing?
start anyway.
I couldn't. No, it wouldn't let me start anyway. It says it was like an important update. Couldn't.
That was just system update.
Well,
There was a system update.
I was able to play any other game though. I just couldn't play a cartridge game. Probably is what it is.
Maybe,
I can play a
Yeah,
downloaded game.
I think-
Couldn't play. A
I'm
cartridge
willing.
game.
That could probably be. I don't know.
Because Final Fantasy 9 was downloaded. I was able to upload any other game except Pedro because I hadn't updated like if it was available yet. You're disappointed in that game? Fuck.
I like it.
So yeah, so I was extremely. I was like looking forward to it. I was like, you know what, dude? I haven't touched Breath of the Wild in a long time. Let's play that
Not
back
gonna.
on. And it's like, what? Update, cancel, and then nothing happens. I'm like, how the fuck do I skip this, dude? I couldn't fucking skip it, man. Damn it, dude. So disappointed.
Damn.
And that flight sucked, dude. No entertainment. Like my shit was like half battery at the beginning of the flight.
Bro, you didn't prep. Shoes are squishy.
Need a power bank,
Shit, man.
cable.
So you came back and did anything else? Or?
Fucking slept Saturday, and then Sunday, I saw this guy go like best movie of 2019,
Hype man.
and I'm like, it's Sunday, I got time. I went to go watch Toy Story 4.
And you didn't think it was
The end.
the best.
what?
Oh, I'm assuming we're gonna talk about it because we all watched it.
We'll keep talking.
It was good. I cried twice.
Yeah.
The
No,
beginning.
it rained in my theater. I don't know what you
I was having a few onions. Onions and popcorn go great together, guys.
But yeah, the beginning it shows like a little quick Woody and Andy moments, which caused me to tear up, but it reminded me of all the movies. And then obviously the ending, the way it ends, you just kind of tear up a little bit too.
Couple moments, nothing. I mean, there was a moment at the beginning that kind of got me, that was endearing, but I think the moments that hit me in terms of emotional hit, it was in quick succession towards the last act. Like several different things happened. I was like, man, that's hard, or that's rough, or fuck.
Was it the villain being denied?
No, it was weird things. It was things I didn't expect, but they were. I don't know if I want to spoil it right now. Maybe
okay.
Next episode we can go into.
That was one thing, because your thing said like, oh, the villain was well written. I'm like, first like the whole
Trick question.
After watching the whole
Villain.
thing, yeah, after watching the whole thing, I'm like, I didn't see a fucking
I'm the
villain.
villain.
I didn't see a goddamn villain. But yeah, I mean, good times, bad times, all around times. I'm done. I don't know nothing else.
Jay.
I downloaded Pedro. It's all right. It's all right.
I mean, going into it, what were your expectations?
You know what? Actually, I thought it looked good, but I thought it was gonna be like Gato Roboto, where it looks cool but plays okay.
So it's where you thought it would be,
Yeah.
or is lower?
For some strange reason, I think Max Payne is more enjoyable. I don't know why.
I think it's like a 2D Max. Like
Yeah.
It's just like I think of Dead Cells in some ways. Have you played it since? You know, so it's very like the when we were at the demo and we never played it. It was very much just, to me. It's been just that. Like I'm casually playing it. I'm playing on easy mode. I'm just fucking running around doing as cool shit as I can.
I remember why I hate it, and I remember I said it on
Hate it?
stream. No, I disliked it. I remember why, and I said it on stream. The controls.
It is a little odd.
Like it's meant for mouse and keyboard, without a doubt.
Oh.
Dude. Without a doubt, that's meant for mouse and keyboard.
I could see that. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
it's on PC, dude. Just
It
get
is, but like Switch, I think is the cool thing is like I'm just running and gunning, and yeah, I'm not as precise with doing the cool elaborate shit. You're right.
Or maybe because there is a setting to change the aiming to very good.
Oh,
So maybe I had to change that.
Maybe.
But it's set on default, and I'm just like
I gave it to my cousin to try just for a quick round, and I was like, "Here, try this out. It's a funny game." And he starts messing around. I was like, "Okay, how do you shoot? How do you jump?" I was like, "Here's slow mo." And then he's like, "Oh, you can jump off walls," and he just starts doing some weird shit. He's like, "Hop, hop, hop." One shot. And it was just one shot, but he's like, that was kind of cool. And I was like, that's the game. Like to me, I'm like, as long as I'm in the mood to do that, I'll just pick it up whenever.
Yeah.
But I don't expect this to be like Dead Cells to me, where it builds and it grows. Like, how much was it again? It was like 20.
yes.
Yeah.
I think 20. If it was any more, I'd be like, that's too much. Yeah. But what else do you have?
I bought Cadence of Hyrule. It's okay. I like Necrodancer better. It's good. The
I think you
music's
like the
good.
harder.
I don't know. Like people in chat have said the gameplay in Necrodancer is
You
harder.
posted a meme where like people were saying where it says like people that have played Necrodancer are saying that Hyrule is easier, and you're just sitting over here like dying
dying every
30 times,
30
and you're just like it's still pretty damn hard.
Dude, Necrodancer is one of the hardest games
Yeah.
I've ever fucking played in my life. Like, you guys heard me struggle. Like, I barely passed World 1.
Yeah.
Barely passed World 2. Barely passed. Dude, there's a thing called All Zones mode where you start with 3 hearts only, and you have to start from beginning
So you have to play essentially the whole
fucking
game.
end. You could get more hearts, but it's RNGesus based of what you get. I beat it twice. Thank God.
Why do you have to like different characters? Is that the thing?
No, I mean, you could use different
Talking
characters.
Necro, you beat twice.
Necro, yeah.
Which is the first
would
game.
you recommend Cadence?
Yes.
I think for casual player, even though it's still fucking hard, like it's not a casual game, I think Hyrule is a good game to start into.
Okay.
Don't get fucking Necrodancer if it's your
Especially
first
if you like
Don't-
Zelda.
okay.
If you like Zelda, pick
The
up.
music is amazing. I
Yeah,
love
it's
that.
fucking good. It's good. I mean, it's
And
easy.
I've heard there's, in addition to just like getting the hang of the tempo, I haven't played it yet.
which
but-
is still difficult for me.
right. And I feel like that'd be difficult for me, but I heard there's a way that you can be like set rhythm, like
Yeah, you can set it to
for
where
an even easier mode.
Yeah, you can set it to where your movements are the rhythm, so you're never off beat.
Okay.
And so like everything moves when you move, and so the rhythm like you create the sound and the rhythm.
That's what it meant, though.
So yeah, you can do that. So then you can keep up your pace.
It's like
lower the
training wheels,
pace.
I guess, to
Yeah.
build toward. But okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like-
so then that makes it a normal game pretty much.
With Necrodancer, I feel like Forrest Gump when he ran all that mile and he has that big beard. I think I'll go home now. I think I'm done because there's endings, but you have to beat it with each unlocked character. And I'm at this point where there's a character you can only take one hit and you die. You can't, and there's no upgrades for that health, and you can't skip a beat. If you skip a beat, you die. And I'm like, okay, I'm done with it. And
You're like,
you can't- no, I would have done it if I could pick up any weapon. You only had the basic weapon. I was like, yeah, I'm done. I mean, people in chat have said I'm pro at Necrodancer. That's good enough for me. I'm done with that shit. And I saw
Just save it for the sub only stream.
all four of y'all.
It's like playing Dark Souls,
It's harder.
So level
It's
1,
fucking harder, dude.
but you only did the first 2 bosses.
It's fucking harder for sure.
You
This
read
is
a new
like
book?
oh shit! And I went to signing Bobby Hundreds, streetwear designer for the Hundreds. It was cool. Fucking groupies waiting for the rap because the rapper moderated it, and there was like
Wale.
10 to 20 like women just for him. I'm like, man, these chicks are annoying. Be gone, thought. But
I mean, they made those comments though, right?
yeah, true. And Twitch is kind of lit, dude, because of Necrodancer. Like, play games that are
So maybe you should keep playing.
no. And so I'm on my Stardew right now. It's just chill, and
Dude,
I'm gonna go back to Doom.
Can't wait till Animal
I just don't feel it, but I'm gonna have to go back to beat it. I'm almost there too.
Yeah, you're close.
So and Wolfenstein after Doom, Wolfenstein, then Uncharted 4. That's the goal. That's the goal.
Cool. Yeah, what did I do? I saw Toy Story 4.
Nice.
I went into it like, is this necessary? Like, that was my initial thought.
So
And go ahead.
I didn't go into it with like any thought about like these things, but yeah, that's the first thing I heard is when like I saw
But just the
and
trailers, I was
people
like-
talking like, is this fucking necessary? Like, they didn't even need to make the third one. People were pissed the way it ended. They weren't happy with that, and then so they're like, you need to fucking ruin this shit even more.
Well, like, I thought, like, preconceived notion, I went in thinking this is like a cash-in. It's like, it's like Monsters University or another one of the Cars movies. Like, why are they doing this to Toy Story? And I was wanting to see it, but I wasn't incentivized to see it in theaters. And then yeah.
No, it's a joke.
Oh, the
The-
high
the-
five.
Oh.
The Winter Soldier guy.
I was like, it's like question.
Go ahead.
What's it called? I was watching Trihex stream, and he's like, Toy Story 4 is fucking one of the best movies I've ever, like this year. It's one
And
of the
you're like,
best.
that
in the,
moment,
it's
I
like
gotta watch
it's could be the best in the franchise. And I was like,
Whoa.
and I like
That's-
I like the way he converses. So I was like, I'll check his stream. It got me enough to click his stream. He's like, this title is clickbait. After that, I was like, fine, yeah. And he was, without spoiling, he was trying to discuss it, and he said like a couple of things that intrigued me. And I was like, you know what? I got some time. Like how you had said, Vargas. I was like, I got some time this weekend. Yeah, I'll go see it. I feel like that this is enough to warrant my curiosity, and I kind of do. I was like, I could go to see a movie because I've been itching to go. I went to the nearby AMC reserve seat and everything. Maybe it was an excuse to just do that because fuck, I love that. Like, I'm like, should I get the AMC stub thing or I don't know. Anyway, saw the movie and I was like, this was not unnecessary. Like, it felt like a good, like the conversation in the world they've built. It felt like another extension, and it, like, looking back at it in hindsight, I'm like, 3 repeated a lot of what 2 did in my book. Like, as much as I love how 3 ended, I was like, looking at how it structured things, it was very similar and familiar. This one felt like it was going into a different territory. The only thing I would gripe about it, and or at least I would warn maybe, is like, it's not going to focus on everyone.
Yeah.
It really focuses on a handful of them, and it felt like that. If, whether or not that bothers you, that's up to each person. But like, to me, it was like, it was a good story. Like, the people that the characters it does focus on, but like,
Oh man, Key and Peele.
dude, they were the best. They were so much like
Here's the planet attack.
We gave you 3 good plans. Like, I don't know what you want to do with it.
The new characters they introduced are probably some of my favorite new characters in the franchise. Yeah, Key and Peele and Keanu,
Keanu, yeah.
were fucking great.
I don't know the guy's name.
For Angelique. Yeah. It was good. It was a good movie. Stay till all the way at the end of the credits.
I saw the movie. I don't see movies, so that's telling you
I-
something.
Fuck, and you said it's better than
Bet-
John Wick.
I think it's. Well, I didn't watch.
He hasn't seen John Wick. Which, by the way, I was asking, not for you, but I was asking you about like what were your expectations going in. I've had a few people I know see the latest John Wick, and they're like, "This movie is crap," and I'm like, "Why?" And they're like, "He just does X, Y, and Z." I'm like, "But was that not advertised?" And they're like, "Yeah." I was like, "Then what were your notions going into this?" And then I'm like, I sit back, I'm like, I want to understand, but I don't understand. Like, what do you expect when that's what, like, 2 movies didn't prep you, a trailer for this? I was baffled. And that it made me think of that with My Name is Richard.
Did you guys think it was better than Endgame?
Oh, no. I think Endgame is so better.
Yeah, well, I liked the topic, like, in terms of what the topics it brings up. I thought it's more provocative. Like, it makes me think more. It stimulates more conversation of, like, the things the characters in Toy Story 4 are dealing with or are wrapping their heads around of, like, purpose and, you know, relationships and all these other things that's going on with the themes. I think, though, Endgame as a whole was to me, it's unfair because 22 movies of build-up,
Right.
closure, crazy scale. Toy Story is like, I feel like it's a different metric.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse or Toy Story 4?
Spider-Man.
See? Simple, dude.
But that was
It just in terms, if it was like animated movie of the year, Spider-Verse.
See, but it's unfair. It's 4 movies of closure, and then it's just Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
well, Spider-Verse.
But there's 7 Spider-Man.
Yeah, there's-
Oh.
No, I don't know. Again,
it's on Netflix.
No, but
It's
yeah,
on
I would
Netflix.
agree. I agree.
yes,
yeah.
it is.
Spider-Man and Spider-Verse is
Both
my-
were
is our
refreshing,
top
but Spider-Man felt to be the merits for it were more interesting than if I had to
hell
compare. But
yeah.
I think in a world where we're comparing those 2 movies is a win-win. So I saw that. I'm still playing Pokemon Go,
But you're also playing Destiny.
Oh, I know.
and I'm playing Destiny. But I'm playing some Wizards Unite on the mobile, and I'm level 13.
Oh, wow. What, 20 right now or what? You know the max?
I have no idea what any maxes are. I'm so confused.
I forgot to bring up. I've been playing Blades.
Skyrim, woo!
But dude, I've not spent money on it yet.
We got him, boys. Colin Blizzard. We got him,
Todd
boys.
Howard's like,
I've not spent money on it yet, dude, but it's very enticing to use money on this shit, dude. Because they have the whole thing where it's like if you haven't spent money on it yet, your first purchase of gems, bonus gems.
That's how they get. I know, dude.
Blizzard's like, fucking bro, hook it up.
Why did he go to B3? Who?
Bethesda and like Blizzard talk to each other. It's like this is how you get them. This is how you get them.
So yeah, I've been playing the Wizards. It definitely has its gotcha mechanics of like, hey, you have X amount of instead of Pokeballs, you have magic or mana.
Yeah.
And you go to inns to replenish your mana, but everything costs mana or magic
and
to use.
inns are like the Poke Points or whatever.
It's like a stop. Yeah, it's like a Pokestop. So you just go there, you get some mana, you come out. But people have already been like, the return rate is so low that it's like you're barely getting anything back. It does have some interesting mechanics, but what's crazy is even Katie's playing it, and she's like, "Hey, let's go for a walk," and she's like, "I brought my phone, let's play." I was like, "What? Like this is like Pokemon Go?" And she's like, "Wait, I almost got this one." And then she texted me earlier today. She's like, "Hey, I can't do anything. I'm out of magic." I'm like, "You need to go to an inn." She's like, "Where is an inn?" I'm like, "I don't know, anywhere. Just look in your game." She's like, "I tried turning the app off. It didn't bring it back." She's like, she tried just closing it and opening it like magic. But you get to pick like your house. It's just,
nice.
It has a lot of similarities, but it has some differences in terms of it's more complex in some ways that are more upfront. Like Pokemon is complex on a subtle, like You have to find the
Yeah,
complexity.
the front of it is like very
simple,
easy, simple.
but like it's hidden
yeah,
complexity.
like there's
this
the
one's like
perfect IVs and shit.
overwhelmingly complex, and it
big
could
eye.
be off-putting to someone who's just like, I just wanted like like you do spells, and then you create potions in your cauldron, and then you have port keys that you walk, and then you have a skill tree that you're building, and you're like, wait, how do I spec this?
You go to Hogwarts and meet
And
Dumbledore.
instead of a singular Pokedex, this is the part that kind of, I think it's just not streamlined. It's easy to understand, but it's not streamlined. So they have all the classes. They have like, oh, here's dark arts. Oh, here's Quidditch. Oh, it's not classes, just categories.
Yeah.
Here's platform 9 3/4. Here's ministry, and there's a sort of like a Pokedex for each one of those pages. And the more things you run into that are within, and it, like the icons that show up on the around the world say when it's from the ministry or say when
Yeah.
it's from Hogwarts, and you have a chance then of getting a character you've never seen before, getting a character you've already
So you'll
seen,
fill out that.
and you're filling it
Pokédex.
up there. Yeah.
Before this game came out, I thought it was gonna be like you're Newt Scamander and you got to capture all the magical creatures. But
So it's not Newt Scamander, but what it is like instead of capturing things, you're finding, freeing, or helping people or things. So like if Newt Scamander's being bugged by a Dementor, you're helping Newt get away from the Dementor, and you've now encountered a Newt Scamander. And if you encounter him, let's say 10 more times, you've completed Newt Scamander. But then there's another one where it's like, oh, here's a Marauder's map. You've uncursed the map. Now you've collected or
Yeah.
seen the map.
So this is all just collecting or filling out that Pokedex essentially. That's
Sort
what
of,
it
but
means?
like you're also the part where it's battling is you go to these fortresses, and this is where I don't understand all the way is that you can within a fortress there's a difficulty level of up to like 15 or 10 or something, and you go to you can go up to a highest level that you can handle, and you have 5 minutes to take out. It'll say like take out 3 people in this room. NPC people or 5 people in this room, and you have to do it in a time limit. So the harder it gets, the more beefy these characters are, and it's a back and forth. So it's like cast a spell at them, hit the Dementor or the Dark Magician or whatever, and then they're like, all right, block this spell, swipe, and you block their spell, you take less damage, and then it's like a back and forth. And then you're like, oh shit, that one took 3 minutes. I have 2 minutes to take 3 more, or like you try to pick
Right.
and then you get rewarded. So, and people can help you. So if you go to those with other people, you can take them on together and fight them. It's got some mechanics. It's interesting. It's enough to keep me like in it, but I'm not like, oh my god, this
Yeah.
is the next thing. It's just fun. Like it is fun though that like Katie's also playing because now I'm like, oh, we can play this together.
we got her. Niantic.
Niantic, yeah. She actually was like, where's that Pokemon? Like this Pokemon I was facing the other day. She's like, I want to face that one. And I'm like, that one's a hard one to get. Like, and she's used to like them not running away, and it ran away. She's like, what the hell? I was like, it's tough. Get good.
Get good.
So playing that. I'm playing a couple of Switch games. I've been playing My Name is Pedro a bit. We talked about. I played a little bit of, not Tetris. Fuck. I can't remember.
Indie game?
Yeah?
Tetris?
No?
Cadence?
No?
Not Tetris?
I forgot.
Slay to Spire?
First person shooter?
No, I forgot. Oh, no. I'm getting ready for a work tournament for Street Fighter 2.
Oh.
So you picked up Street Fighter 2.
So I had the collector's anniversary thing where it's all the old versions, and I was like, which version of Street Fighter 2 should I play at work?
Turbo.
And I picked Super, which is the Super Turbo, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. And I had a coworker recommend it because he's big on
He
esports.
wants to win and he's good at
He
that
knows what he's
game.
talking about.
Well, like a lot of my coworkers are casual players, so I was like, I just want one that like everyone would maybe know, and like I knew I wanted 2, but I didn't know which version. I'm like, hey, can you help me pick one? And he's like, yeah, I think Super is gonna be the good one. I'm like, okay. So we're gonna play that. I went with him and a few other coworkers to round 1, which kind of sparked this in me. We're all big on like the fighting games, and so we went to just round 1's fighting game area, and they had Tekken, they had Marvel vs. Capcom 2,
Virtual Fighter.
and they had, I think there was one other one we tried, but it wasn't working. I think Street Fighter wasn't working, but those two were working. And like my coworkers are like their top game is Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I suck compared. Like they're just comboing me in the air. I'm like fucking it. I can't do anything.
But then you Honda their ass.
I beat one of them, and I was like livid. I was like, I fucking beat you. He's like, no, this guy came and talked to me and distracted me. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. And they're like, rematch. I'm like, nah, I'm retired. And I didn't give him the rematch. I'm like, ha.
Dude's pissed.
She hated me. She was like, fuck you. She just, every time we play, she just wrecks me. I'm like, is this fun? Is this even fun? And I finally, I was like, yes.
You gotta invite competitive players to play with your friends, dude, because I'd be interested in wrecking other people.
They're pretty good. I mean, you good. Yeah.
I adapt.
He's going to Evo.
I adapt to learn how to lose in different ways.
One of them has played Daigo
Ooh.
at Evo.
Easy.
Ooh.
I mean, he's like, I got wrecked, but I played him. I can say I played him.
Use it loosely. Huh?
Yeah. And then I haven't watched too much. I'm playing Destiny. God, Iron Banner. I lost sleep because of that. So they made it now where going forward, if you want the next set of the armor for it, for this season, there's 3 sessions of Iron Banner, which is this 1 week of PvP content, and you get a cool like wolf-like like Iron Lord sort of thing. And in order to get it for each individual character, you got to do this quest line now. Instead of just like a bounty for this piece or bounty for this piece, no longer. In order to get like the legs, you have to do step 1 of 6. And it doesn't carry progress. Like step 1 of 6 is just play. The more you play, the more it fills. Step 2 of 6 is capture points. It doesn't keep track of all the points you've captured up until that point. So from that point forward, it's capture points. But it's not just you; it's your team. So if other people in your team are capturing points, you get progress. So that helps. But it just sucks that. And then the next step is like get super grenade and melee kills. And grenade kills are hard. So people are like, "Fuck, this is taking forever." And can other people get grenade kills? I'm just like. I'm just sitting there like not doing anything, spamming grenades. I'm just like, God damn it, why didn't that kill? Little progress. And I was like, God damn it. Third one is like use these 6 weapons to get kills, and I hate 4 of those weapons. It's like scout rifle,
hand cannon,
sniper, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to do with sniper. Luckily, when I did one of my characters, because other players' use of them helps. I even got up to 50% with sniper without ever using a sniper. I was like, wow, thank God. So I did it with one character by Sunday. I was like, I don't want to. I have 2 more Iron Banners to do in this 3-month season. I don't know if I want to do that as hard as I did this. So I started on my Titan one, and then I was like, you know what? I think I could finish it. It was Monday night. I stayed up to like 1:30. I was like, just need to finish. And I finished it. Because the only reason I finished it was because the last step was just get wins, and I was like, fuck. But I learned that there's a cheese. Once you get a win streak going, it like glitches, and every time you just go to a different planet, it counts it automatically thinks you won again. So I was just like, as long as I can get to that step, I'm good. So I'm trying to do these sniper kills. So I'm like, fuck. And I was like, I got there. And then I was like, wait, I got to get a streak. And I was like, does it have to be in this game mode, or can I just? And people were like, you can go to Rumble, which is free for all, and as long as you're in the top 3, it counts it as a win. So I did. I got a win in Iron Banner. Then I went to Rumble. Everyone's doing AFK bots to just grind out rank.
Yeah.
And people were just like, and
they're moving so they don't get.
And what was funny was like I was going about it casually. Then I realized one other player in this free for all was a real person, and now I'm like, fuck. This is like a horror movie. Everyone's like a mannequin, and like I don't know which one.
He just acts like it, and I was like.
And then like he starts catching up to me, like I kind of want to win like first place now, and I won. I was like, oh my god, that was more nerve-wracking than I thought.
Dude, I saw the craziest Apex play, dude. So it's Mirage, which he sends out like a decoy. So the guy like sees someone, he hides behind a rock, and then he himself walks out like a Mirage and just stands there. The guy goes behind him. Boom! I'm like 2,000 IQ, dude. Holy shit.
That's good.
Got him.
I watched some of these charity streams. I know Games Done Quick is doing it, but Guardian Con, and it was really cool seeing a lot of what streamers do and like how much money they can raise for stuff. And I was like, that like, I wonder like, is that what inspires some people to stream? Like, I know people stream for different reasons, but like that seemed like
The crazy thing to me is like specifically Guardian Con. It's made because of one specific game,
Yeah.
Destiny.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I mean Destiny's doing good now, but it's had such a rocky road.
it's been up and down.
Yeah, which is insane to me. Like it seemed like at any point in these rocky areas, like this game could have been completely done,
Sure.
like isolated. And here we are, like it made a convention. It got so big that they raised $3.5 million.
Over 3.5.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But like that, yeah, it was insane to see that. They've been doing it for 5 years now. And then the other crazy thing is, like, I mean, yeah, it's crazy seeing what an individual streamer can do. Like Dr. Lupo raised 900,000 by himself as one of them. Each of the other ones raised different amounts for different, things. But it's also fun seeing what they're doing. Like if I hit this goal, I'll cosplay as a girl character, or like I'll shave. This one guy was just like, I'm gonna shave. He's like, last year I'd get a butt tattoo of this one YouTuber's name, and he's like, it's there. And then he's like, this year I'm gonna shave my eyebrows and my head if I hit certain goals, and he hit those goals. I was like, fuck.
I don't know.
Whereas other people do stuff like Bungie actually did a charity part of that segment, and they're like, for every $100 $100 donation, this one guy that in their community team is always talking about like, get that bread. Hey, get the bread. Like bread is the prize, and he's like, he will eat a slice of bread.
Oh,
and like by the end of the stream, he had to eat like 40 slices of bread. He's like,
my.
and if they hit a certain level, he's like, when he actually goes to Guardian Con, the convention, he has to cosplay as bread. And all those goals were hit. And he's like, I had so much bread. Like he was on stream, he was just like,
I don't know if Dr. Lupo had like a goal stream.
he had his were gameplay. He's like, he
Yeah.
plays Fortnite.
So
And
if
so
it's
his would be like, I won't build.
Yeah, so
Oh
if it
my
was like
God.
after a certain amount, so like every $100, that person was able to tell Lupo what to drop.
Yeah.
And
That's smart that he played Fortnite.
Yeah.
Because the viewership.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah.
Other people like this guy, Big Cheese, that I watched, his was like, for every 50 you donate, I will drop a T-spin, or I won't ever drop a T-spin, or I won't hold a Tetris block in Tetris 99, or gameplay stuff.
Yeah.
And like I saw different people do different things. It was kind of cool. One streamer was pretty creative. So there's a game mode. This is the last thing I'll talk about. There's a new game mode in Destiny called Menagerie, and there's this big kind of like raid-like environment, but it won't start until you start it. So it could be just an empty hall of like series of halls. So what a group of people did was they get a group of 6, they go into it, and they're like, let's play hide and seek. So the stream he had was like, for every $100 you donate, someone has to shoot their gun for 5 seconds of that you pay.
So they're
For
hiding in
if you
the-
do it, if you donate like $500, this person automatically loses this hide and seek round and will become the seeker for the next. Like they were doing a custom game
Yeah.
mode in I thought that was pretty cool.
When you gamify things, that's
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah.
dude.
So that's part of the. I feel like draw of like this charity versus. I know Games Done Quick is like watching these people speedrun and learning about that, but like the way they've incentivized Guardian Con to work with like these tiers of like donations, it was pretty cool. So yeah, it was,
Well, how much would it take to shave your head?
my topic. One of the ideas was like, if you were doing a charity block on a stream, what would be your like?
So we'll
I'll grow-
save that answer.
Yeah,
See, I'll be reverse. I'll grow hair for every.
yeah, that could be a thing. Yeah, that's all I had. Where can people find you guys?
They can find me at the Filio everywhere, but not really.
On Twitch at The Last Bosses.
You find me at Kucher Prime. You can find us all at the Weekly DLC. Thank you for joining us again for episode 125. We'd love to hear your thoughts on any of the things we talked about. And you could reach us at asktheweeklydlc@gmail.com, as Vargas had mentioned, or on any of our social media pages, or at the ones we mentioned just now. So until next time, we will
DLC.
You later.
I'm sorry.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Let's say it again. Hold on. We will DLC.
DLC.
You later.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Oh, one more time. We will.
DLC.
You later.
Okay, thanks. Bye.